Okay, in this video, let's take a look at Lydia Ko's golf swing. On the left, certainly much more recent, and on the right, back when she was a junior phenom. And the one on the right, the lines to me just work better. The club face control is better, the plane is better, so let's take a look. If it's your first time at the channel, please hit that subscribe button, and if you like the video, hit that like button as well. So let's get into this. So with the one on the right, we can really see, if we just look at the way the club goes through impact first, very interesting to me. She is ranked still in the top 30, so still a great player, obviously. But the fact that she had such control of the ball back with this one, where she's wearing the red shirt here, this club working its way through impact with the face in a very strong position here, much more of that sort of bowed down position, and then coming through impact, the way her body gets out of the way and the club face control through here, to me, is what's so exceptional. So she has total control of that face at this point. And the same thing with some drivers as well. So it's the same motion back in this era, about 6-7 years ago. And we can see on the way through the total difference of the club face position at this point. So very different, very much more natural. I think this sort of the natural swing she had as a kid, and just absolutely phenomenal. Over on the left, certainly much different body type as she's gotten older, leaner, but the lines aren't quite as good and the club control isn't quite as good. I know she went through the A swing with Ledbetter and some other things as well, but here the club face is okay in terms of position, but it is certainly more inside. If we look back at this one, you can see that club definitely staying outside sort of her natural position. And this one, the plane or the angle of the camera is slightly off, but it is more inside for sure. And then as this thing works its way up to the top, gets into this position here. So less of a strong club face position, still a flat wrist, but a grip change or something that has caused that position to be different. Much more of a solid position there with the iron. A little more toe down on the left with the driver. Massive difference, no, but you'll see a big difference coming through impact. So here's that great Lydia Ko move with the lower body going, which she's always had. But at this point, the club can over shallow sometimes. That club can be getting too low. And with the face less closed, there will be more rollover. So if she gets excessively inside out with more club face twist at the bottom, that's where we start to see a loss of control. So the club face more turned over and certainly more flipped over here than we see on the right. And you can see that's a very different club face angle. I mean, that's probably 30 to 40 degrees difference in terms of the amount of rotation coming through. She's less cleared as well over here, which those two things usually fit together. So it just looks less natural on the left and more flow and natural, smooth, athletic action on the right. Looking over here on the right too, with the lines for the takeaway. That club definitely outside more. And to me, as she's winding this club up and sort of loading the way she does, she's able to really create that super athletic position very naturally as a kid. Really lots of great angles here, which allows her to use the ground, use the lower body. The arms in the club really coming down in response to the legs. And to me, her left arm is simply more across the body too. Like it looks more natural, this backswing. Less positional. And here the left arm totally across the arm or the shoulders there. Club face very strong at this position. So we can see with the face in that position as it's coming down, more in a strong position. Like I said, the natural clearing. I like where the shoulders are here better than some of the other swings where she gets too closed with the shoulders. Hips certainly rotating great. And there's the natural move through with the club and arms all by themselves. That perfect release with no twist. So natural. This video is too blurry to show sort of in the actual movement, but the main thing to look here is just how the left arm is right along the shoulder plane or the shoulder line. Left wrist flat, and look at that club face angle back then compared to how much more toe down it is now. So the more toe down it gets, the more you have to sort of slow the body down to use the arms. Once it gets more closed up there, you can rotate and have more passive release. Very different angles back then versus now. Here's the swing from 6 or 7 years ago. Once again, that classic pivot. All the flexibility these pros have, get the lower body moving, legs moving, pressure in the ground, and the arms responding to the upper body. Perfect 90-degree lag here because of that sequence working correctly. And like I said, she's cleared out, and now it's just a free ride for the club all the way through. And let's look at that. We know the face was in a stronger position back then. Look at those hands coming through. How passive. Look at that club face. Still so square to the arc. So late coming through. And we know how good she was back then. She was just dominant. Really splashed onto the scene at such a young age, and you can see why. Obviously the mental game that was superior, but this technique, wow. Pretty easy to be mentally strong when your ball goes straight every time you hit it. If we compare the current swing versus those old ones, certainly the grip less strong. Slightly different positions here. And then as the club gets up to the top, face less closed. Same sequence, obviously it's her swing, so the sequence is going to be okay. But with the club face in a more open position coming down, there's more rollover at those same checkpoints. So looking here, we can see the face is more over. That means there's more rotation in the arms as well, which gives you less control of the golf ball. So it's just less natural. And obviously she's had tons of mechanical type training over the years, so that could certainly happen. But certainly the old swing looks so smooth and perfect with the release. It will be interesting to see if she can get that club face a little more square or closed going back, if that would help her with any sort of consistency issue she might have. One last look here, coming down in that club face angle. Like I said, at this point, a little more open than the old one, getting on the plane early, but then quite a bit underneath. Partly camera angle, I get that as well. Certainly the other lines are okay. But the posture is certainly suffering a little. Not sure, maybe she's quite as able to hold those positions as well as she might have done earlier in her career. Still knows where the plane is. She's able to get that club right back to where it started. It's more a case of the face control than the plane, I think, for a lot of her shots. You have to see a little more exact video current to see how that's working. Like I said, just a little more twist on the way down because the body's not clearing as hard. Be fascinating to watch through 2021 what happens with her swing and her ability to work her way back up towards that #1 spot. Okay, well, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Lydia Ko, thank you so much for watching. Once again, if it's your first time to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. And if you like the video, hit the like button as well. And we'll see you in the next one.